Yo, peace was good. Welcome to the next on my CD collection. This is part 129. But before I start, I hope everybody had a wonderful New Year. This will be my first video I've done for the New Year. Um, Recipes to MF Doom, aka Zevlov X of KMD fame, and recipes to Ecstasy of Whodini. Alright, unfortunate. This is very unfortunate deaths, man. But their legacy lives on, you know what I mean? But for enough of the condolences, let's get on to these CDs here, alright? So I went digging about last month, and these are like more recent releases that I picked up, alright? So, you know how I get down. I'm gonna go through I'm gonna go through these CDs and talk a little bit about it, alright? So, first album I want to talk about is Spearhead with their second album, Chocolate Super Highway, released in 1997. You guys should know who Spearhead is. I showed you guys their first album, Home, that dropped in '94. But for those who don't know who Spearhead is a group that was put by Michael Franti. I showed you guys his group that he was part of at the time. It was called The Disciples of Hypocrisy, that dropped in '92. I showed you guys that a couple years back. That album was pretty interesting to say the least. It was very experimental. It kind of had like an electric slash like Bomb Squad, like Public Enemy kind of feel to it. You know, you could definitely tell he was influenced. You could tell he was influenced by Public Enemy just by the production and stuff like that. But this album was definitely in a more different directions. It's like a more kind of like mellow hip hop, that kind of thing, like live instrumentation, that kind of thing. So what you get from pretty much from Home, you're pretty much getting the same thing, but I think this is a little bit more have like more of a deeper sound. Like it has like more R&B, more of a kind of like a reggae influence in some of the tracks and that kind of thing. So this album does spawn 3 singles. I know the singles are "You Can't Sing Our Song," what else? "Why Oh Why," and "Keep Me Lifted." Those are the singles of the album. Pretty decent album, pretty good, pretty cool to listen to. The songs I do like the self-titled track. That was pretty cool. "Madness in the Hood" was pretty good. "Rebel Music," "Coming to Get Ya." Let's see, "Ganja Babe" was pretty cool. Yeah, overall pretty decent song, pretty decent album. I know this song is out of print. It goes for a little bit of money. I seen it go for like, like an $11, like in the teens, like $12, $11, that kind of thing. So if you can find it, definitely pick it up. Alright. Next album, we're gonna go to I believe Michael Franti. I believe he's from the Bay Area. I believe he's from either Oakland or San Francisco. Decided to throw that out there. Alright, next album, we're gonna go to New York. I believe he's from Queens, I'm gonna say. It is Rahzel with Make the Music 2000. Yeah, Make the Music 2000, released in 1999. You gotta love when MCs did this shit. When they would make the 2000, that was like the whole gimmick at the time. You know what I mean? Like the 2K and that kind of thing. But it came out in 1999. It's crazy. This album only came out with 2 singles. The singles are what is it? I want to say Make the Music 2000 and All I Know. All right, so Make the Music 2000 was produced by Marley Marl, which there's a video for, and the second single is All I Know. That was produced by Pete Rock. All right. Overall, this song was okay. A little bit inconsistent at times, in my personal opinion. The reason why I was turning the CD around, because the way he has the track list is like, you gotta like kind of, sorry for the glare, you gotta kind of read it along the lines. You have to turn it the way it does. It's kind of annoying, but I wrote it down. This standout tracks to me, the self-titled track, All I Know, To the Beat, and Still My Soul. Those are like the songs I like the most. Again, a little inconsistent. I'm not really crazy about the whole beatboxing thing. I get it, it's an important part of hip hop, but that's just not my thing. And I know some of you guys are gonna say, "Well, you weren't there in hip hop." well, I don't have to like everything. You know, it doesn't mean I have to be there. You know, because like okay, I was born in '87. You know, I'm 33. I'll be 34 when like in a week's time. You know what I mean? So, but it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? But I hate when people say shit like that. If I like something, I like it. You know, it's like food. You know, like if it agrees with my palate, I'm gonna eat it. You know, that's just what it is. So, but yeah, this is an okay album. Like I said, a little bit inconsistent in my personal opinion. It's cool to have. But Rahzel with a Make the Music 2000, released in 1999, and I forgot to mention he was part of the Roots around this time. I think for like only like one time period. I think it's like when they dropped the Things Fall Apart album. I think he was on part of that, or he was affiliated with them. But yeah, Rahzel Make the Music 2000, released in 1999. All right, next album, we're gonna go to Brooklyn. We're gonna go to Best Star. We're gonna go to Foxy Brown with Brooklyn's Don Diva. Excuse me. This was released in 2008. This is a street album, an independent street album, released in 2008. The story with this is that originally Foxy Brown, she was supposed to come out with two albums actually. When she was with Def Jam at one point, she was supposed to come out with a follow-up album of Il Na Na. It's called Il Na Na 2, The Fever. But that got shelved. But I think that got leaked online. And she was also working on an album called Black Roses. But at the time, she suffered like a hearing loss, and then she was going through legal issues. She was at a nail salon, and she beat up the nail salonists, or whatever you call them, like the nail salon people. She beat them up, and then she had to do some jail time and things like that. So and that kind of like pretty much delayed like the releases of those two albums. And at the time Jay-Z was the president of Def Jam, and he got kind of like I guess like impatient with Foxy Brown, so she ended up getting kicked off the label, and she ended up dropping this street album. So some of the songs that's on Black Roses and Il Na Na was actually featured on this album. So pretty much that's what it is. This was okay. It wasn't too bad. The standout tracks for me, I do like, is the self-titled track Brooklyn Dawn's Diva. That was pretty cool. We're on Fire. That was pretty cool. Featuring Movado. Movado, dope. Dancehall artist, pretty cool. Let's see, Too Real featuring AZ. That was pretty cool. She Won a Rude Boy featuring DeMarco, another dope Jamaican dancehall artist as well. How We Get Down featuring Graf and Prince. Damn, Prince, I haven't heard that name in years. Holy shit. We Set the Pace featuring Morgan Heritage and Sprague Benz. And the Quan, Lady Hip Hop, featuring Lady Soul, the hip hop mix. That was pretty good. This was decent, you know what I mean? I'm more of a fan of Il Na Na and Broken Silence. And that's where it goes for me when it comes to Foxy Brown, excuse me. Yeah, pretty decent album, not the best. It's not those two albums like I mentioned, but it's cool to have. But yeah, Foxy Brown with Brooklyn Dawn Diva, released in 2008. Alright, next album, we go to Long Island. We're gonna go to Brentwood, Long Island. We go with Erick Sherman with his third album, Erick and Nas's Def Squad presents Erick and Nas's, released in 2000. So with this album, obviously, Erick Sherman was part of Def Jam at one point, but then he left Def Jam, so this was released under DreamWorks Records. And the story with this album is that he was watching coverage of JFK Jr.'s death when he died in a plane crash, and pretty much, excuse me, yeah, he was inspired by that, so he named it Erick and Nas. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, like I said before, like him leaving Def Jam Records, like I said, was due to like him leaving Def Jam Records was the inspiration of the title of the album. So that kind of thing. There are 3 singles. The singles are Focus, Get the Money, and what else? Why Not? Those are the singles of the album. Overall, pretty dope album. The only thing with this album, this felt more like a compilation album, just due to the amount of tracks on the amount of features on this album though. But the songs I do like though, I do like I Do 'Em, that was pretty cool. Don't Get Gas, Why Not, Hostility featuring Redman and Keith Murray, that was pretty cool. Focus featuring DJ Quick and Exhibit, that was pretty cool. Um, Get the Money featuring Jayo, that was pretty cool. Ain't Shh to Discuss featuring Teflon Don and Noah. Teflon Don, for those who don't know, that's Rick Ross. Everybody should know Rick Ross. Everybody knows him. Maybach Music, Teflon. The Teflon Don himself from Miami, Port of Miami. Well, this is when he was known as Teflon Don, and it was actually his first appearance on Wax was on this album. So Erick Sherman definitely needs to get more recognition when it comes to that. He believes. Even though I'm not the biggest Rick Ross fan, but his ear for beats is fucking phenomenal. So I do give him that, and his work ethic is crazy. So I give him that. Excuse me. Van Gundy featured that dope song. To me, Van Gundy, love the beat for that. To me, the best track off the album. It features Big Kim, Cy Scott, Nolan Epps, Bo, Ruck, Billy Billions, and PMD. Dope song right there. Wish that should have been a single. I could easily see a video for that. You know what I mean? And the track of Fat Gold Chain featured Too Short, which is pretty much buy you some. It's the same song as that was featured on Too Short's Getting It album from '96 and the Dangerous Crew album. Don't Try This at Home, but it's just pretty much the same song. So I don't know what was up with that. It's just just to add filler to the album, I guess. Whatever. But the case may be. But Erick Onasis by Erick Sherman, released in 1990. 2000. All right. Next time we're gonna go to Philly. Go with Young Gunz with their second and last album, Brother from Another, released in 2005. The only single this song was known for is Set It Off. Yeah, I didn't really care for that song. This album overall, it's not that good. It got some decent songs I do like. The song I do like is The Knock Is Dead. That was pretty cool. Tonight featured Daz Dillinger of Dog Pound. That was pretty cool. Grown Man Part 2 featured Kanye West. That was pretty cool. Beef was cool. It's the Life featured Poodle Brown. The Way It Goes. We Still Here with Memphis Bleak. Those are like the only songs I like. But it's not a very memorable album. Their first album, No Better Love, was a lot better over this album. And it didn't really sell very well. So that's it. They only came on one single, Set It Off. And even that's not even memorable. I had to actually go on YouTube and check the video. Oh shit, I remember that. But that's how far as it goes with this album. So, but yeah, Young Gunz with Brother from Another Mother, their second and last album they dropped together as a group, released in 2005. Next album, we're gonna go to Oakland, California. We go with Ant Banks with Big Thangs. This was released in 1997. This is more of like a producer's compilation album, and what I mean by that is that Ant Banks himself doesn't do any rapping. He doesn't rap on his album at all. He just does the production on the album. He just has people. He hires people to rap over his beats. That's all it is, honestly. You do have like some interludes, like some skits, like just like introducing, yo, shout out to my boy Ant Banks, for putting me on, that kind of thing. Just giving him props. But pretty dope album, man. Really enjoyed this album, man. Big Thangs with Too Short, Ice Cube, that was pretty cool. Can't Stop with E40 Mac 10. West Rider with King T, Spice One, that shit goes hard. Hard Knocks, that shit goes hard right there. For the Hustlers with Tupac, Too Short. MC Breed, rest in peace to him. Thomas Tick, that was pretty dope. Bad Influence. Who Ride and Banks, that was pretty dope. Player Paraphernalia. Fire. Fiend, but All From The Eye, Mac 10's group. You Want Me Back, Audrey, featuring Audrian, J-Dub, and CJ Mack. yeah, this is a pretty good album, man. I'm glad I got this because his stuff is hard to come by, you know, especially when you go out digging. So, but yeah, man, and Banks with Big Thangs is released 1997. Dope shit, dope West Coast hip hop right here. Underrated producer too. I rarely hear people talk about him. All right, next album, we're gonna go to Long Beach, California. All right, we're gonna go with Badass with his second album, Personal Business, released in 2001. It's dropped 3 years after his first album, Word from the Street, which I showed you guys a while back. Recipes of Badass, by the way. He died. I think he died last year. Sometime last year, he died. He was in jail for domestic violence, and he died in jail. I'm not sure what he died from. They never specified what he died from, but that's neither here nor there. It's not about that. It's about the music at the end of the day. But yeah, this album got some joints, man. You Don't Want to Be Broke, that was pretty good. Streets Illustrator was pretty dope. Let's see what else. Personal Business, self-titled track was pretty dope. Too Many Choices was pretty dope. 2001 4-door Cadillac. Oh my god, that shit goes hard. I love that joint. Money to Fold was pretty dope. When You See Me, that was pretty dope. Doghouse Riders. Man, that shit goes hard. Love that joint. Don't Wanna Die, that was pretty dope. Life Ain't Never What It Seems to Be, that was pretty dope. Wrong Idea, that was a pretty dope single. That was pretty big back in 2001. All this time, I didn't know that was a Badass song though. I thought that was a song that that was on Snoop Dogg's either on the last, cause it sounded like something that would have been on the Last Meal album, or that would have been like one of the East Siders albums. That was like one of those, either the Last Meal or one of the East Sider albums. I thought that's what it was, but it's not. But Wrong Idea, that shit goes hard. Life Ain't Hard, It's On All Day, pretty dope album. This album is out of print, so if you can find it, definitely pick it up. I remember I seen it on Amazon the other day. I seen it for like $900. I'm like, nobody's buying this for $900. Like, it's not happening. I mean, I've seen some insane prices, but $900, that's a little bit too much. No, the most insane price I've seen was Sean Price, where he tried to release his Monkey Bars album for $10,000 on eBay. Like, no bullshit. But yeah, good album, dope shit, dope follow-up of Word on the Streets. So if you like that album, you'll definitely enjoy this album. Very dope. Badass with Personal Business, released in 2001. Rest in peace, Badass. Right? Next album, we're gonna go to Vallejo, California, the Bay Area, with Cel with G Filez, released in 1998. This is his third album. And this was also the last album that he dropped under Jive Records. Yeah, pretty dope album, man, to say the least, man. This album does have 3 singles. The singles are Fuck the World, Get a Real Job, and Pop the Trunk. Those are the singles of the album, man. Overall, dope fucking album, man. What Must I Be Like That? That was pretty dope. Fuck the World, featuring Silk the Shocker. I know everybody hates it, don't care for Silk the Shocker, but I fucks with him. You know what I mean? He has dope ear for beats. Every Day Is the Weekend, that was pretty dope. Don't Want to See Us, Can I Kick It, Get a Real Job, Ride featuring Sibo, fucking love that joint. All I Know, Pop the Trunk, Get It Crackin', that was pretty dope. It's Going Down remix, which is pretty much like the same song as the first out on Killer Cali. But I just kind of wish it would have been on Killer Cali, because to me personally, it does not fit the album, because it's just based on the production. It's Going Down definitely sounded like it was recorded in 95, 96, which it was, because it was recorded, for the Killer Cali album, but it was featured on this album. I guess because they couldn't fit it on the on Killer Cali, just due to probably like scheduling of that kind of thing. But to me, it just doesn't fit the album, in my personal opinion. But it's an overall dope song, but pretty dope song. Sick With It Party, that was pretty good. You Never Know, In the Traffic. I mean, this whole album is fucking dope. But yeah, The G Filez by Cel, released in 1998. Dope shit. Next album, we're gonna go to Harlem with Dukedagod. Dipset presents More Than Music, Volume 2. This was released in 2006. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, released in 2006. If you guys are familiar with Dipset, you guys should know them. You know, J.O.S.E, Tana, Jim Jones, Dukedagod, Uncasa, 40 Cal, you know, all these cats, Hell.A, and all these cats, man. So, excuse me, Gerald Ryder, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty dope album. It's not the best, but it's pretty cool. I mean, you got songs like More Than Music, Street Pharmacist, Dipset City was pretty cool. Anniversary with Jim Jones, Max B, Max B, Hold Your Head Up, Free Max B, No Matrix, Hold Him Up too, Free Him too as well. The Corner, Getting By, the Gun Shop, that was pretty cool. Feeling Myself, Show and Tell with Tom Just and A-Mob. Yo, Tom Just, very underrated. What happened to Tom Just? That nigga was nasty. A-Mafia too. I fuss with A-Mafia, man. But yeah. Dipset More Than Music, Volume 2 by Dukedagod. This was okay, just a little bit inconsistent in my personal opinion. Wasn't too crazy, but it was alright. But you know, Volume 1 was a lot better than this one. This is my personal opinion. I just felt like this was like a little bit rushed, that kind of thing. So yeah, Volume 2, Dipset, More Than Music, Volume 2, released in 2006. Alright, next album we're gonna go to L.A. We go with Frost with When Hell.A Freezes Over. This is released in 1997. This is his fourth album. I do have his second album, The East Side Story, which is a pretty good album. This album pretty much is a follow-up of his third album that he dropped in 95 called Smile Now, Laugh Later, I think it's called, or Die Later. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, this is like a follow-up of this album. If you guys are familiar with Kid Frost or Frost, you guys know he's known for like his laid back, you know, delivery and the music too as well. I believe the single of this album is what is it? What's Your Name, Time of the Season. That was like the single of the album. And it was like it's the last track of the album. But overall standout tracks for me is Mexican Border. That was pretty good. Local featuring Ice-T. That song goes hard. That's actually my favorite song of the album. It definitely has like that. It definitely sounds like something that would have been on the Return of the Real album by Ice-T. Another underrated album. Fucking love that. It just has that dark vibe to it. So it just has to feature on this album. So that was pretty cool. Heaven and Hell, that was pretty good. Cool. Heaven Sent was pretty dope. Another Day, Another Dollar was pretty cool. From My Block to Your Block, that was pretty cool. Featuring Slow Pain. Get Down was pretty cool. You're a Big Girl Now. Yeah, pretty decent album, you know what I mean? I definitely need to get more of his albums. But so far I have his second album, East Side Story. Now I have this album. I definitely get more of his albums, like his first album, Hispanic Causing Panic. That was need to get that. And I need to get his third album. But that's pretty much it. And you know, he's an acquired taste, you know what I mean? But this album cover though, very cheesy. You know damn well LA doesn't fucking snow. Come on. I'm not even from LA. I've never been to LA, but I know it doesn't snow. Stop it. Despite California being a desert state, you know, and you know, it has mountains and stuff like that, but it doesn't snow in Southern California. Stop it. But excuse me, but you know, you gotta come up with something, right? It's the 90s. It is what it is. But yeah, Frost, when Hell.A Freezes Over, released in 1997. Oh, it's called Smile Now, Die Later. That's the name of the his third album I'm gonna get. Alright, next album from LAX, we're gonna go to JFK Airport. We're gonna go to the Bronx. South Bronx to that is. We're going with 2001's Fat Joe. Jealous One Still Envy, released in 2001. This is his fourth album. Funny story with this album. I remember when this album came out, and this was before Loyalty came out, because I think Loyalty came out, I want to say, in the fall or winter or early winter of 2002. And this album was like the latest album he came out with. And at the time, I went to Green Acres Mall in Long Island because at the time I was living in Queens. So, cause like Green Acres Mall was like probably like maybe I want to say like a 7 minute drive for me. And I remember I was looking for the J.O.S.E Envy, the one that came out in '95, and I remember the guy was like, "Yo, you know that this is not this album. This is like this is like the first one." I'm like, "Yeah, I've been wanting to get that," so I copped it. And then for years, I dismissed this album because of the singles, and the What's Love and We Thug, and I hate those. Even to this day, I hate those songs. But it's cool to play like when you're in a party or whatever. But that's as far as it goes with those songs with me. But this album definitely has some bangers though. You got Jose, fucking love that joint. King of New York with Buju Banton. Opposite track with Remy when she went by Remy or Remy Martin. Definition of a Dawn featuring Remy, that was pretty dope. My Lifestyle, that was a big song in New York at the time. It played like Hande's. It wasn't a single, but Hande never played it as a single, so that shit goes hard. Fight Club featuring MOP, PD Pablo, that was pretty dope. He's Not Real with Prospect and Remy Ma. Murder Rap, that was pretty cool. Get the Hell On With It, that's pretty cool. The Wildlife with Prospect Exhibit, Still Real, fucking love that joint. Yeah, pretty dope album right here, man. Production wise, I've always felt like it was like a mixture of the Terror Squad album and Yeah Baby. So if you like those albums, production wise, then you'll definitely enjoy this album. To me, that's like a hybrid of this album, of those albums with production wise on this album. So that's just my personal opinion. Definitely give it a chance. It's pretty dope. But I would have to do a review on this album. I did a review on his first 3 albums, the Represent album, the J.O.S.E Envy, and Don Carter Jr. So definitely check those out when you guys get a chance. So Fat Joe is J.O.S Envy or Jose. This was released in 2001. Alright, I gotta go through it because I'm talking too much. Next album, G Shorties, 44 Ways, was released in 1986. This is they're a group from Miami, Florida. But this has like more of a G-Funk kind of sound to it. There's only 2 singles of the album. The singles are Click and Southside. Those are the singles of the album. Overall, dope album, very, very dope. Never heard of these guys, but I looked it up and very hard to come by. This is their second album. They came out with the first album that came out in like 94. This came out in 96, so it usually goes for a lot of money. I've seen this go on Discogs for like at least $30. So this is definitely a rarity. But pretty good stuff, man. You could finally, you kind of there's some songs that's posted on YouTube. Definitely check it out. Like I said, it has like that G-Funk sound. So definitely dope stuff right here. G Shorties with 44 Ways released in 1996. Second and last time that they dropped as a group. Alright, next album. This was a come up for me. That was a come up as well. Been wanting to get this album for years, but I finally got it. Jayo Felony with his debut album, Take a Ride, released in 1995. MC from San Diego, California. He's a Crip. He reps that shit to the fullest. Very, very, very dope album. I believe the single off this album, I want to say was I want to say The Log Is On His Own was a single. I believe. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, pretty dope album, man. Production is done by like a production group called the Prodigy Production. Jam Master Jay does some production on here. And what's interesting, Jam Master Jay, I think he actually discovered Jayo Felony and he does some production. And the production that he does, it has like a West Coast feel, which is kind of different because I'm used to like stuff that he did for Onyx and Run DMC, so it's kind of different. But The Locust on his own, that was pretty dope. Homicide was pretty dope. Niggas and Bitches, Can't Keep a G Down, Penitentiary Brown, Don't Call Me Nigga, Funk to the Head, the self-titled track Take a Ride, pretty dope stuff. Been trying to get sound for a while. This is the OG pressing, and you can see the JMJ Def Jam, so that shows you that's the original version. It's not the reissue, the Japanese reissue that came out, I think, like in 2015 or around the mid 2010s, you know what I mean? But yeah, glad I got this. It's definitely come up for me. Take a Ride by Jayo Felony, released in 1995, dope shit. Alright, I gotta run through these because I'm running out of time. Alright, King T with For Life, released in 1994. I showed you guys this before. This is actually the OG pressing. I have the Japanese reissue, as you can see. MCA record. Oh, you can see MCA records. You can see right there. So that tells you that's the original pressing. By far my favorite album. Had to get it, even though I have the Japanese. I had to get this album. Fucking love this album. Dippin', Super Nigga, fucking dope. Do Structure Out, Freestyle Ghetto, Dippin' Remix, fucking love this album. To me, this is his best album, in my personal opinion. Definitely has like a more East Coast kind of East Coast feel to it as far as the production, but you can tell it's West Coast. You know what I mean? And this is like the first album under MCA Records, because before that he was under Capitol Records. So I pretty much have all of his albums with the exception of Thy Kingdom Come. That needs to have a proper release. I don't have that album, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is. But King T with For Life, released in 1994, dope album. Next album, it's not I already have, but you know, I had to get it for a particular reason. Pete Rock with Soul Survivor, released in 1998. This is like a producer's album / debut album from him. The reason I copped it is because when I bought my copy, I got it from a what's that shit? I got it from a flea market, and it had like a white spine, and it kind of annoyed the fuck out of me. I'm very anal when it comes to that. So, you know, it came like this with this clear spine, and then with the CD, you see that, you know, shit like that. I need that. You know, I'm very, you know, anal when it comes to shit like that. I'm pretty sure my viewers are the same way. So, but yeah, glad to own this album. Very underrated album. I really hear people talk about this album. You know, when people always think about Pete Rock, people always talk about, you know, the first two Pete Rock and CL Smooth albums. But with this album, people rarely talk about this album. But, you know, you got dope joints like True Master, which was a single, Have Amazing, Respect Mine, what else? One Life to Live with MC8, that was pretty dope. Take Your Time, Mind Blowing, Soul Survivor, The Two with CL Smooth, fucking love that. Would have loved the Pete Rock and CL Smooth around that time. That would have been dope. Strange Fruit, fucking love that, man. Very dope album. Underrated, very underrated. It is out of print, but you can get it for dirt cheap. So Pete Rock, CL Smooth, Pete Rock with Soul Survivor, released in 1998. Dope shit. Alright, next album, RBX with RBX Files, released in 1995. Very dope album. RBX Files at one point was affiliated with Death Row Records. At one point he was supposed to be signed with them, but he never did a album. He never did a contract with them. He's just because of, I believe, he didn't like the way, you know, Suge Knight conduct things, which, you know, I don't blame him. And you know, they just kept pushing his album back. So eventually he actually left the group. He left Death Row Records, and he put it on the Premeditated Records. And this album, very dope. And he takes shots at, you know, Death Row and Dr. Dre on songs AWOL and Rough as the Texture. And so yeah, pretty dope album. Love the songs of these albums. Pretty dark too. It has like a really dark production. You got songs like AWOL, like I said before, Slip Into Long Beach, The Edge, Rough as the Texture, Burn, Feathers in the Wind, that was pretty dope. Tundra, BMS on the Attack, Sounds of Reality, Fighting the Devil, pretty dope shit right here. RBX, the RBX Files, released in 1995. Next album, we're going to Oakland, California. We go to Richie Rich with Seasoned Veteran, released in 1996. Pretty dope album right here. Richie Rich from Oakland, California. You know, he's known for his affiliates with Tupac. You know, he was really cool with Tupac. Known for 2 singles, It's On and this Do G's Go to Heaven. Pretty dope joint right here. Pretty good stuff. I remember seeing like album stickers for this album like back in the 90s, so I've always wanted to hear this album. Pretty good. He actually has another album now that dropped the same year in 96. Like, he dropped in like early 96 called Half Dang. But that goes for a lot of money, and I would like to get my hands on that. But yeah, Richie Rich, a seasoned veteran, released in 1996. Alright, I'm definitely running out of time. I'm gonna just run through these real quick. I got like 4 more. Alright, so we're gonna go with San Francisco. We're gonna go with Rappin' Forte with Off Parole. This is his 3rd album, released in 1996. Pretty dope album. Yeah, Rappin' Forte, fucking dope MC. I have his 2nd album, Don't Fight the Feeling. Pretty dope. You got songs like I Pay My Dues, Check Yourself, Ain't No Players. I believe it was a single of the album. 25 to Life was pretty dope. Holla at a Player, Game on the Shelf, fucking love that joint right there. Off Parole, Fat Like That was pretty dope. Still Fucking With My Folks, yeah, pretty good shit right here. Out of Print, goes for a lot of money. Alright, next album, we're gonna go to Hayward, California, or Oakland, whatever you want to call it. Spice One with his 6th album, Immortalized, released in 1999. These album covers, man, Jesus Christ. Just like with Shaquille's Respect album that came out in 98, it has like that PS1 video game kind of feel to it. It just looks like a video game, you know what I mean? But yeah, this was like a weird release, and this was the last album that he dropped on the Jive Records. This is kind of like his farewell album with Jive Records. They got some decent joints. You got songs like Duck Poetry with Saphir, Suckers Do What They Want, Suckers Do What They Can, featuring Too Short, Roger Troutman, Yuck Mouth. Roger Troutman, he died that same year. I think it was like the last song he did that he recorded, or one of the last songs. You Can't Fame It was pretty decent. High Powered, California, Ride for Mine, Ride With Me was pretty cool. And then I like how he tried to do the 187 Proof 2000 or 2000. It wasn't good. You should have just left it alone. Just leave it alone. I hate when artists try to like rehash like what they did in the early days. Just leave it alone. It was good for what it was, you know. But yeah, Spice One Immortalized was okay, not the best album. But that's how as far as it goes with Spice One. It's released in 1998. Immortalized by Spice One. Alright, last 2. We got a Whodini with 6. This is released in 1996. Once again, like I said, recipes to Ecstasy of Whodini. This was released on So Def Records, Jermaine Dupri's record label, and this was the last time they dropped as a group. The single of this album was Keep Running Back. That was the single of the album. Jermaine Dupri does the majority of the production on this album. Red Spidey does some production on this too. Red Spidey, you guys know, at one point, G Unit and that kind of thing. But this is early stuff. This was okay. It wasn't, it was alright. Nothing too crazy. Kind of has like that Trackmasters kind of feel. I fucked with Trackmaster, but it's not really good at this point. But what I do give them props for is that since Jermaine Dupri was a dancer for Whodini, so for Jermaine Dupri to pay them back, he brought them to his record label and released this album. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was pretty a very noble thing to do. That was pretty cool. But Whodini 6, released in 1996, was okay. It wasn't too crazy about it, but yeah, but it's good to have. And last but not least is T-Bone, The Last Street Preacher, released in 2001. I believe this is his 4th album. I didn't know who he was, but I found out he was a Christian rapper. If I don't know now, I would have never picked it up, but I picked it up anyways. There's some decent tracks on here. I believe he's from San Francisco, too. He's from the Bay Area. Friends was pretty cool. Wipe Your Tears was, kind of has like that Bone Thugs and Harmony kind of feel to it. Street Life was pretty cool. True to Life Players. And Living Lovely, and that was pretty much it. This was okay. This is not memorable, but that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Sorry for rushing. I know I talk a lot, but fuck it. And I just had to throw that out there. Had to like get that CD collection out the way. So definitely expect more reviews in the near future. Just been very busy with work and life and that kind of thing. So I do have a life outside of YouTube. So but that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely stay tuned for more. All right, peace.